Candace, what about you?
Married and 15 years.
Married. Longest relationship. Longest relationship, 15 years. Is that the guy who you're married to?
Yes.
Okay, wait, so you've been with him for 15 years. And how long have you been married?
10.
10 years, okay. Got it. And any other relationships before him? Or?
I had one, and that was 8 years.
8 years, okay, wait. So that was like high school?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Got it. And so, I mean, you were involved, and you still do, like, I mean, you have a OF, right? So you still do some content, right?
Yeah, it's like, it's much more tame than my
You're not doing
previous
BG
work.
content?
Yeah, I don't work with anyone else.
Yeah. But you were in the traditional adult content space. And you were with him for, when did you, so you were
Basically,
with him before you started?
Yeah,
right?
I started webcamming, so that was when we first kind of just started casually dating, and then he was there for the whole progression of everything.
Gotcha. And has it presented, and if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine, but has it presented like any issues for the relationship?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. I think,
like when you first brought it to him, was he like on board, or where?
So initially I started webcamming, and it was all implied, so there wasn't any nudity. That was for a while, and I mean, I took my time with my career, so it was a very slow progression into what ended it with just like boy-girl scenes. But solo wasn't an issue, and then I transitioned to girl-girl. I did that for a while. That's not an issue for most men, so that wasn't really a conversation. And then as that started to kind of kick up my career, I wanted to start shooting boy-girl scenes. Initially, he said absolutely not, and I wasn't motivated enough, so I said, sure, I'm not going to do it. That lasted a few years, and then I got presented with a contract opportunity, and those things were non-existent at that time. So back in the 90s, you had the contract girls, and that kind of what leveraged them and their careers. It went away, it wasn't profitable, and they were starting to bring it back. So I got pitched that to start a competition, and I was like, I know I'm going to win this thing. What do you think? And we talked about it for months before I actually shot it. And if you look at the whole scope, it was like probably a 2-year conversation before I made the jump.
Yeah. And was he, it was a monogamous?
It was, until I started shooting, and then...
So like kind of open, well, I guess...
Well, so what I saw happening was like a lot of women were making such a harsh distinction between sex that was for work versus like in their personal life. So they expected their partner to be monogamous while they were shooting, and their justification was that it was work. And while I do think there is a difference, it's still intimacy on some level, and I saw those relationships never worked. You have to have the same rules across the board. So I said, if I'm going to do this, then we have to open up the whole thing for it to be fair.
And did he was like dating other women at that point?
No, and he didn't. I mean, he maybe used that privilege like once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Definitely really interesting, though. I mean, you were in this relationship for the entire duration, stayed together, ended up getting married. So, okay. What about you, Lily?
I'm single. My longest relationship was probably just about 2 years. What was the other question?
How long have you been single?
Shit. When did I... Fuck. It's probably like... Wait, don't quote me on this. I'm trying to like actually think on... Maybe getting on for about 4 years now, 3-4 years.
Okay. All right.
But the relationship was very on and off, so I can't be like, oh, we broke up here and that. And,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's a bit rocky.
Sure. What about you?
I'm single, divorced.
All right.
Which do you prefer?
How long were you married for?
21 years.
And how long have you been divorced?
About a year. A little over a year.
And how long were you together in total?
22.
22. Okay. So 22, and you started divorced for 2 years, you said?
It's been officially a year, about a year.
Oh, 1 year. Okay. How long separated?
The same. Yeah.
Same amount of time? Okay.
Yeah.
And who initiated the divorce?
I did.
Okay. Did he see it coming or no?
Yes, I was very, very communicative, even starting about 3 years prior, talking to him about just the fact that it was after deconstructing and realizing who more aligned with who I was, like who am I apart from religion? Who am I apart from the roles that I play? And when you get to know yourself and you realize also getting married at 21, not really a good choice. You don't know yourself at 21. So a lot had changed between the two of us, and not only did I not feel it aligned to be married to him anymore, I just didn't feel marriage was aligned for me at all. I have a hard time with the construct of marriage. So I am single. I will be single. I won't marry again.
Any kids?
Yes, 3 children.
3 children from him?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think here. Are you polyamorous?
I don't consider myself polyamorous, only because that's not something I've actually experienced yet. I do consider myself ethically non-monogamous.
Ethically non-monogamous. Okay, so
what's the distinction?
So the way I would distinguish it, and this isn't textbook, polyamorous, you are actually having more than one partnership, and it would be treated very much like a relationship. There's more romantic experiences involved with both. You have love for both. Whereas for me, I'm very new out of the gate. Now, even though we opened our marriage toward the end, and so there have been a lot of relational aspects and things I've experienced, I have no desire personally right now to have myself in a committed relationship, even with multiple people. So right now,
I see. So just to clarify, when you say polyamory, you mean could be romantic other partners as well as your primary partner. Right. What you're talking about is that your marriage is open to the point where you just have sex with other people. There's not a romantic intimacy involved in it.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And have you been, you've been divorced for 1 year. Have there been other men in the picture?
Just dating a little bit here and there. Nothing serious, no.
Nothing serious? But you were married for what, 21 years or something?
Yeah.
Did you just go like ham, like bunch of like Lily Downs or anything?
So we, several years before the divorce, we actually started down the route of partnering with other couples. And that came about because I've always known I was bisexual, and even told him prior to marriage that I was into other women and had been with other women. But then you get into the construct of, oh, now we're in church and we're in ministry, and you just have to put that in a box. You can't experience that. So he knew that about me, and so we started having conversations after deconstructing about that. And the whole point was to actually bring in a woman, but he put us on a swingers website, and I was like, oh. Okay, I'm very open-minded though, just as a person in general. So I was like, whatever, we'll try it out. So we did that for a little while. It's not my jam. It's a little too overstimulating. There's just too many people involved. But then we moved to more of an open relationship status. It's really hard for me because I care very much about the energetics of being with someone. And so for me, one night stand or just finding somebody who's a good sorry, I'm trying not to cuss.
Can you help me with a timeline just a bit? So
yeah.
with the same sex attraction, were you experiencing that before you became a pastor in ministry?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Since I was 16, 17.
Were you sleeping with women before you became a pastor?
Before I got married. So yes, that would be before I was a pastor, absolutely.
Okay, got it. And then the church, I remember you said it was non-denominational. Mm-hmm. Were they pretty accepting towards LGBTQ?
They were accepting, but it was love the sinner, not the sin. So it was still considered absolutely wrong.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And so you did swing during your marriage?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you would go to swingers parties, or would you just meet up with a couple and
couples more? We tried a few different clubs. That's again.
How many different couples did you swing with?
That's a good question. Maybe 4.
Okay, 4 total.
I think. Mm-hmm.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Carly?
Okay, well, I'm single right now. Yeah.
Okay, single. How long you been single for?
I've been single for 5 months, or it's been a while. My last relationship ended over the summer, and it was 5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Who broke up with who?
He cheated on me with a teenager, with an 18-year-old.
So an adult?
Well, it was right after, he was waiting, but yeah. And so I found out, and then I punched him in the dick, and then that was it.
You punched him in the dick, literally?
No,
or figuratively.
No, literally, yeah.
Figuratively punched him in the dick. Okay, nice. In the balls? Did the balls catch any?
I mean,
or just the dick?
I don't know. Just
You don't know?
the
it was
general
just a flash. Okay.
The general area. I mean,
any rebound? Any other guys you've been seeing? Or
yeah, I mean, I've been like kind of just going out and like doing whatever. Because I mean, catching up on 5 years is like, you know.
What do you mean by catching up on 5 years? What does that mean?
Just like, well, basically like just going out on dates, like seeing different people, and like just kind of figuring out like what my type is and like how all that works out. And I mean, kind of similar, like, I mean, I'm pan, and so I've been out with like a bunch of different people and women and all of that, and it's just been like good to, yeah, like catch up with the last 5 years.
Sure. And do you have a roster currently?
A roster?
Like,
no.
are you kind of like dating multiple people, or just
not
one
right?
bar?
I don't
Previously.
know. Previously, I had a roster.
How big was the roster?
It wasn't that big. It was like, okay,
5,
like,
6,
like, yeah, like maybe 7.
7.
Multiply it by 3, and that's the real number.
No, that's 7. I mean, 21.
It's
that's
just
crazy.
the roster, but no, yeah, that's
okay.
like too many people to keep up
Sure.
with.
Okay. And then, do you have a roster currently? You got a roster? Because you're E&M, right? So
I don't keep track. Why would I keep track?
So it's you can't even keep track, right? It's like 100.
No, but I didn't have a
How much
roster
is
before.
it?
Oh no,
On the
it's
roster?
not. It's not 100. I have no idea.
How do you
If
know
you-
if it's not 100 if you don't keep track?
Just because of time in, right? So like how much time I've actually not been, and I'm not having. I'm wildly under effed.
You're-
So
Wildly under. So you're celibate?
no, I'm just under.
Oh, you are getting effed, but not enough.
Accurate.
Under effed.
Accurate.
When's the last time you got effed?
Like a month ago.
Damn.
Girl.
Okay, she's been celibate for a month. Okay.
Wait, aren't
Do you have?
wait, I'm sorry. I'm confused. Didn't you say you were married?
No, she's
Oh, you
she's
missed
divorced.
half
Oh,
the
you're divorced.
conversation.
Yeah.
And so, but did you have a rebound, or a string
No,
of
you mean when
rebounds?
after I got divorced?
Yeah.
No, there's no rebound because we were already having sex with other people.
Oh.
So it was a very easy transition out.
Oh, not just the swinging. You were like individually fucking other people during
no,
the
there was like the swinging, and
The
then
swinging.
that ended, and then it was open relationship
during the marriage.
during the marriage.
For a period of it.
Correct.
And then you were seeing people then. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And was there a roster during the marriage?
No, we were monogamous up until that point, up until the swinging.
Yeah,
Like,
but so there's the swinging, then it was open. During the open period, did you have a roster?
just during the open period.
Or after, sure. Like how many different people were you kind of like simultaneously
Oh, not
E&M
at the
with?
same. Oh, very few because I can't.
Like
I don't have time for that.
3, 4?
Maybe 2.
Okay, sure. Relationship status for you?
I'm in a relationship with a guy for like 8 months, and he's awesome.
All right, longest relationship?
That's a tricky question. I was like on and off with a guy for like 10 years. He broke my heart. Before my current relationship, I was single for 4 years. And I had a roster, if that's what you want to call it, but half of them were my exes because I don't like to put my number up.
Recycling.
Basically.
So like 10
and it
years.
wasn't always just about sex
Okay.
either. It was all like emotional, like the friendships.
Ever
And
married?
I had to break up with all my boyfriends when I got my new one.
Wait, so you would have a roster, like how many boyfriends would you have at the same
Oh, I call them
concurrently?
boyfriends, like.
Okay, men you were letting stick their penis
No,
inside. I
not
don't know.
really. Actually, it wasn't like that. I mean,
Oh,
like
okay.
some of them were. It was, how do you say?
Situation?
Yeah, like we were friends. Like we liked each other.
With
I
benefits?
wasn't. Yeah, I didn't like. Not always.
Okay.
Some of them, sure, if they're having a bad day or something, but like
They're having a bad day.
Yeah, like I'm just, I'm a server. I'm here to serve everybody exactly what they deserve. Like, just
It's very charitable.
I'm serious. Like, a lot of it's out of pity too. Poor guys, like having their heart.
Pity sex
Yeah,
is
man.
the
Well, like,
best sex. A guy
For
can
them, for them.
It's just the best when she's kind of reluctantly.
It was just like, oh, I'm
So
sorry,
wonderful.
going through that. I wouldn't say like, I wouldn't say that.
Wait, I got to open this up to the panel.
Yeah.
Who here has done pity sex. Done? Given?
Absolutely.
I don't know. Pity sex?
Absolutely.
To my
Sounds
husband.
terrible.
I was married for 21 years.
Okay, she knows.
Sometimes you can
Pity
tell the
sex,
guy
no
hasn't
I can
shagged in a
confidently
while.
say 0.
Never pity
0.
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was
Ayla.
young.
Yeah. When you were young,
Yeah.
there was pity sex. Lily?
Hell yeah.
I mean, do you think the 100 men is kind of, was that pity?
Some of them I did feel bad
You
for.
felt bad for.
Because you can tell that they haven't shagged in a while.
They haven't what?
Shagged.
Shagged.
Yeah.
Shagged.
Yeah, there were definitely a
Austin
couple
Powers. What's that?
Definitely a couple virgins, so.
A couple virgins. Okay. Any other pity sex enjoyers?
Oh, I didn't say I enjoyed it. You
Oh.
didn't,
Yeah, I don't know if
No, I
anybody
mean-
there was no
enjoys-
enjoyment of
Like
it.
my whole family's
just
watching
thought I
this, so I'm
offered it.
trying to be a little bit like.
You've already.
Oh, it's too late.
Yeah, it's
You've
over
already
with
gone
that
there,
with
you know.
that handle.
So let's see. Any kids ever married?
No kids, never married.
All right. What about you?
I've been in a relationship for almost 2 years. My longest relationship was 5 years. And before my 2-year relationship, I was single for about 3.
All right. Got it. 5-year relationship. Who broke up with who?
Out of high school, he broke up with me. And then we mutually got back together. And then we mutually broke up.
Okay. All right.